In this video, I'm going to show you a new way to create AI agents to scrape the latest news and build a complete newsletter out of it so that you can automate the process of creating newsletters. Let's get started. So for the first step, I'm going to click on trigger manually because I want to show you how everything works. Typically at this point, people will recommend to add the AI agent module, and you pick this, then you add your own LLM. So let's just use DeepSeek for simplicity, and then you can pick what tools you want, so Wikipedia, but technically that is not the most recent news, so we might need to use something like SERP. SERP gets the latest Google search results and gives them to you, which is obviously pretty useful. The problem is that it's actually pretty expensive, $75 per month for 5,000 searches, and if you're going to build a newsletter that's automating this whole process, it's going to be more than 5,000 searches, especially if you're posting every single day. This approach works. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. There's many different ways to do the exact same thing, and this does give you more control over the tools, the memory, and the chat model. But more recently, ChatGPT Search was introduced in an API format. What that means is that ChatGPT will search for you, scrape the results for you, put them together in a prompt, and then give you an answer. So this whole process of connecting the tools, connecting the chat model and stuff, we don't have flexibility over what ChatGPT is doing in the back end, what it is scraping for you, but we know that it's going to do it all in one for a relatively cheap price, so we might as well take advantage of it. And funny enough, this has been around for some time now. It was released October 31st on 2024, but it wasn't released to the actual API, so you could use the chat interface like this over here to do it, but you couldn't have your own programs do the scraping and the searching for you like it shows in this video. So in a second, it's probably going to show you different results from Google and so on. Setting this up is very easy. If I go back to N8N here, scrap this module here, scrap the chat message that it made for us and these little models. Click on the plus sign, type in OpenAI, pick the regular one, and choose the message a model text action. If you've never connected your OpenAI account, click on the credentials here, create new credentials. Go to this URL here, platform.openai.com/API keys. It's on the side here as well. Create new secret key, type in YT-demo2, project's default, create secret key. Copy this key, paste it here, click on save. It should go through. Connection is successful. And when I exit out of this, my N8N account and my OpenAI account are set up. In the model list, type in search. And these are the 4 search models that are going to scrape on your behalf and get you the results and actually give an answer based on that. So I'm going to use GPT-4o Mini Search Preview for now to save some cost. And that's all the setup we need to do. The prompt is by far the most important part of this workflow. Unlike before, because ChatGPT is doing most of the work, yes, it's easier for us to kind of do everything and set everything up, but we need to make sure it's searching for the right thing, scraping the right results, and matching them all up together in the correct order. So that's where the prompt comes in. So here's a quick prompt. You are a professional journalist that writes about the latest AI news. You find the most trending AI news and write a quick summary for someone who's non-technical. I'll make the assumption that the people reading this newsletter might not have a technical background, which is pretty safe to assume. You provide citations and links to the original articles so that the user can go back to the original source. This is a handy little trick I learned in one of my client projects, but basically, if you give it all the sources, which we're doing with the scraping results, and you give it a prompt, when it's coming out with the response, it's actually a hyperlink where it got the source from so that the user in this case can go back to the original source and do it instead of having to scroll to the bottom and find what the original source and then click on it. So it's a more seamless approach, and typically people do this manually anyway, so it's nice that the AI is doing it for us. And the final thing is going to be to output your work in valid HTML format because this will be sent as an email template. If you didn't already know this, the emails we send back and forth are actually in HTML format, so if you want to add more fancy formatting like bolding, bullet points, hyperlinks, all that stuff needs to be in valid HTML format, or else it's all going to be in one big, plain text blob, which isn't that nice to read for our subscribers. So when I clicked on test step, I do see that this is valid HTML here. We got some latest AI articles about data privacy, something about music. We do see that the original source is properly linked here. And this looks pretty good. Let's just test this out. So the next step is going to be actually sending out the email. We get the response from the AI. We need to send it out to our subscribers, or maybe even you can add it as a draft to your email to double check to make sure that it's looking good, because oftentimes AI will get you 80% of the way there. It'll never get you 100% of the way there. So I'm going to click on the plus sign here, type in Gmail, send a message. If you haven't already set up your Gmail account, just sign in here. It's very straightforward. Resources message, operation is send. For now, I'm just going to send this to myself so that you guys can see what the output looks like. I'm just going to say test AI newsletter, and the message itself will be this full HTML. So if I go to schema here and drag and drop this content in here. We should be good to go. This is the full HTML document, but it looks like a mess to us right now. When the email parses it for us, it'll be in a nicely formatted manner. I'm going to exit out of this and click on test step. The email went through, and when I go to my inbox here, 0 minutes ago, I'm seeing big text, medium-sized text, small text. I'm seeing hyperlinks on the original source. Apple restructures AI leadership to revitalize Siri. That sounds about right. AI companies seek unrestricted use of copyrighted material. When I go to the original article here, looks like this is March 20th, 2025. That's not bad. That's like 3 days ago. We may need to clean up some of this HTML here. Looks like it didn't properly hyperlink it in the right place, or we might need to reprompt it. But I hope you're seeing what's possible, right? From start to finish, I can get the latest AI news, and keep in mind, we didn't even have to set up anything. This was all done using OpenAI Search GPT. We built a complete newsletter, and this is not terrible for a first start. I'm not going to say it's perfect, but this is 10 times better than starting from complete scratch. That's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, and subscribe if you want more in-depth AI N8N tutorials just like this. If you want to see how I built a DeepSeek Telegram chatbot, watch this video over here. Bye.